Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you very much, Stuart. Thank you.
No problem, your man. See, you brought a few friends with you today as well.
I have indeed. I'll get to those in a bit. Welcome, everyone. Hello. Wow, what a great crowd. Always so colourful, isn't it, here?
It is,
At
absolutely.
MCM Expo, because everyone's dressed up.
They are indeed. It's amazing. I feel kind of underdressed, actually.
Yeah, I do, actually.
I really do.
Yeah. Look at this. This guy's got on some of them springy things.
He also holds a record, Warwick. He ate a whole box of Japanese flavoured biscuits in 1 minute and 36 seconds today.
Ah.
Cut his mouth to shreds.
And look at the effect it's had on him.
Yeah. Bless him. So, Life's Too Short has been a tremendous success. It's one of the best shows for me of recent memory. Really enjoyed it. Tell us a bit about if those people that haven't seen it, what is Life's Too Short?
Well, Life's Too Short is a comedy series that it's a fake documentary that charts the life of a fictional version of Warwick Davis.
Right.
He shares my career background, but in his personal life, it's nothing like my personal life. He's going through a divorce. He's got a huge tax bill. He's got an overinflated ego, which obviously I haven't got. And things aren't going well. So he thinks to invite a documentary crew to follow him along will actually revive his failing career and give him a bit of money to pay off the tax bill. But as with any kind of documentary, you know, with a camera about, things don't go quite as he would plan. If you've seen it already, you'll recognise that there was indeed a scene shot at an MCM Expo.
There was, yeah.
As well, yeah.
I think it's the second episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. So kind of today is sort of life imitating art, in a funny way.
Have you had anyone come up to you and reference any of it so far?
Yeah, people do all the time. All the time. They tell me they're not very well, and they said they haven't got 25 quid. But all the time. But I've kind of sort of, in a way, sort of helping out with that a bit. I've actually, you saw I had mugs in Life's Too Short. Well, now I've got a mug as well here today. It's a limited edition of 100.
Wow.
And it's the Warwick Davis actual size mug there. And it says actual size in very small writing there. And kind of a cool fact about this little notation on here, it's actually Val Kilmer's notation, actual size.
Wow.
He once wrote it on a photograph that we were signing together with a little arrow pointed towards me. So that's just a little notation on the mug.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, it is. It's very cool. And it's got me on it, which makes it even cooler.
Exactly. So, I mean, the series, there's some really funny moments in it, but without trying to spoil it for anybody, who came up with the idea of the teddy bear suit?
That was Ricky's idea. He likes to dress me up.
Right.
And I get invited to attend a Star Wars wedding.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is too far from the truth, to be honest. But I go along, and as of course Warwick Davis, and I was expected to bring along my Ewok costume, which I hadn't done, and so they decide to rip the stuffing out of a teddy bear and make me wear the skin as an Ewok, basically. And of course, it's very humiliating for Warwick. But then he thinks he can kind of bring up the day a little bit by doing a best man speech on behalf of the best man, and all of his jokes go down. Well, they don't go down very well at all, actually.
No, it's an hilarious bit. I laughed myself silly at that. But so if you'd like to ask Warwick a question about Life's Too Short, or indeed any of his work,
at all,
please stick your hand up and I'll bring a microphone round to you.
Just raise your hand. Here, we've got somebody down here already.
Pirates or ninjas?
What?
Pirates or ninjas?
Pirates or ninjas?
Wow. Interesting.
Pirates, I think. Pirates.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pirates.
I like pirates. Obviously, I know Johnny Depp very well, you see, so I have to say pirates. And it was funny, when we were filming together for the series, it's an idea I think I've mentioned at events like this before, but I had an idea for another Leprechaun movie in which the Leprechaun kind of hooks up with some pirates, and perhaps they have a little battle over whose gold it is. Maybe they've stolen his gold or vice versa. And I pitched it to Johnny. I said, you know, if you're getting short of ideas for that, this would be great. And he kind of looked at me very blankly for about 5 minutes. So, don't know whether that went down very well.
A question again from another lady at the front.
I ask everyone this. Can you do this?
Try it.
Have you had a lot of those Japanese sweets?
I'm thinking yes.
What's that all about? Can you do that? Why would I want to? That's the first question.
Yeah, yeah.
Secondly, It's insane. Hang on. I'm holding this. It's ridiculous. I mean, look, we don't ever film any of that. That's ridiculous.
In fact, that's...
Why does anyone else do this? What's this called? Did you make it up?
Yeah, I haven't found anyone else that can do it.
Must be like this. You'll find a person one day can do it, you know, and it'll be a husband for life or something.
I dare you to go on Britain's Got Talent and do that.
Yeah, that would be funny. Why are you on here? Warwick Davis told me to do it.
Yeah, don't mention me, please.
A question for this young man here.
What's your favourite Harry Potter episode you've been in?
My favourite Harry Potter, I think it was Deathly Hallows Part 2. Just for me, it was a chance to play a character, as in Griphook, who kind of had a real bearing on the plot and the story, in fact. Whereas before, you know, Professor Flitwick, he's been around and he's had some amazing sort of scenes and stuff, but he's never really had much bearing on what happened in the story. So for me, Griphook was a real chance for me to kind of flex my acting muscles a little bit more, and also to play a character like him, who's slightly shady, is perhaps villainous in a way. It is always a lot more fun. So yeah, I think Deathly Hallows, again, as an experience making the film as well, was just, it took so long to make those two films, and I think it's one of my favourites to watch. There's so much emotion in it, so much action. It's epic. I love it.
Now we have a question right down the back from a young man here.
How many films have you acted in?
Oh,
How many films have I acted in?
yeah.
It's going to sound weird, but I don't know. I haven't sort of added them up recently, but I think it's in the region of about 30 to 40 films, and I've been acting for 30 years now, since I was aged 11. So I've been very lucky. I mean, I think as an actor, you have to have some talent, but at the same time, you have to have a bit of luck. And you know, I've been very fortunate to know some great people, and had the opportunity to work with some really fabulous people, and in some amazing films as well. You know, if you start your career with a film like Return of the Jedi, often things could go downhill after that, but I've managed to kind of maintain a quality and a level of film which is, I feel very fortunate about.
And will you be going to see yourself in the glorious modern 3D version when it's released?
You know what, I haven't seen Star Wars 3D yet, but I'm interested to see what Wald looks like, because I want to see what his little tentacles look like in 3D. And I did say tentacles then, by the way. But yeah, what does he look like? I mean, Jar Jar in 3D. How does that go down?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. So.
Okay. Who's seen Episode 1 3D here? Yeah.
Oh.
Is it give a sort of a noise? Give a kind of a good noise if it's worth seeing, and a bad noise if it's not.
Oh, they like it.
I'm not sure. Was that a good noise?
Yeah,
generally?
that was a good noise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go check it out. Definitely.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Interesting fact. Can I just say
yeah,
something about 3D?
Go for it.
George Lucas sent me a very nice Christmas gift this year. He sent me a pair of 3D glasses.
Right.
Embossed with Lucasfilm on the side.
Nice.
And then in a very posh case as well. So you can sort of walk up to the cinema and you can go, I don't need yours, I have my own. And you can do that and you can look very posh.
Well, you can. The rest of us
I
can't.
haven't done it yet. I probably wouldn't dare, but yeah.
The thing is, you probably do it, then you'd leave them there by mistake when you were getting
That
up
would
to
be
leave.
gutting, wouldn't it?
And
Yeah.
you'd be like, I just left a personalised gift from George Lucas to somebody.
But
Right.
no, they look like a pair of sunglasses, actually. They're lovely.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. A question from a young man here.
Is there any chance we can get you on these?
There's no chance on
I
earth that I will wear those.
No, I mean, what would it make you ask such a thing?
I tell you what, though, I did learn to walk on stilts once for a television show called Gulliver's Travels with Ted Danson. And there's a scene when my character enters into the Queen's Palace, and I have to be able to. I'm portraying a character who's tall, so I have big, long trousers on, so you can't see the stilts. And then at the opportune moment, I jump off, revealing that I'm really short. And I remember I spent about 2 months learning to stilt walk for the part, and I learned with an old clown who used to live in the Fens in East Anglia. And I remember getting on these stilts, and the first thing he did was push me over. So our relationship got off to a good start. But what he was trying to do was to teach me to fall over, and once you get over that fear of falling, you then have a lot more confidence in the stilt walking. But what I didn't know is when it came to actually shooting the scene, it was in a palace in Portugal where the floor was made of marble. So if I'd have fallen over, I probably would have done some serious damage to myself. But luckily, I managed to stay on my two stilts. And I've actually kept up the stilt walking. It's very useful at home around the kitchen to make toast and tea. I just go around on the stilts. So
Nice.
It's a useful skill.
That's some more merchandising for you.
What, Warwick Davis stilts?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I once, when I was at school, we used to do woodwork classes at my school. And each term we'd pick a project to do. And my friends picked things like a nice stool or a side table, something that would be useful for them to give to their mum and dad at the end of term. What do you think Warwick Davis chose to make? Bearing in mind I was about 2'11" at the time. I made a pair of stilts. Okay, that's funny for two reasons. Obviously because I was a little chap, but also because there's not a lot of woodworking skill in stilts. It's basically two sticks with a peg bolted to the side of it. That's it. So I don't know how I spent a whole term making these stilts, but I then had to take them to the headmaster's office to get them marked. And I don't know how he kept a straight face when I walked in with a pair of stilts. but there you go.
I have a question from a young lady here.
Harry Potter or Star Wars?
Harry Potter or Star Wars?
Ouch.
That's a bit mean, that one is. I mean, Star Wars for me was something I grew up with. I started watching those films when I was 7 in the cinema, New Hope. And obviously it's been a big part of my film career, but then so has Harry Potter. So which is best? I don't know. It's hard, that. I can't do I have to answer these questions?
No, if you don't.
No. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I like them both. With equal love.
Oh, fair point. A question from this man here.
With your size, what's been the hardest part of dealing with being considered to be smaller than everyone else in your career? Like, what's been the biggest challenge to overcome with that?
Sorry, what was that question?
He said, with your size, what's been the hardest part to overcome in your career based on that?
What, due to being short?
Yes.
So what's been... I mean, all the parts I've got really have relied on the fact that I am short, I suppose. So I often think there would be... I've seen a movie and think, oh, that was a great role. I would have loved to have played that, for example. But, I don't feel it's been a limitation. I don't feel I've ever been held back by the fact that I'm short. I just kind of fill in a very specialist area within the acting profession, I suppose. So, it'd be nice to start to get more roles where it really doesn't matter whether I'm tall or short. It's just about the character, I suppose. That would be cool.
I have a question from lady at the back.
What sort of thing do you want to do next? Like, what else have you got planned? Like, anything?
What do I want to do next? There's all sorts of things. I mean, and having done the series Life's Too Short, there's many doors that I've been banging on for years have started to open. Sort of developing a chat show now, actually developing it, which is really cool. A quiz panel show, some documentary ideas that I've always wanted to do, and now BBC would like me to do. So that's really exciting. There's lots of stuff, and I'm one of these actors that doesn't like to talk about stuff unless it's actually signed on the dotted line and happening. But yeah, there's some exciting things. I'm talking with Ricky and Carl at the moment about doing An Idiot Abroad 3. So there's lots of things potentially that will happen, but nothing's confirmed as yet.
And of course, Life's Too Short Series 2, we hope.
Again, yeah, that's much later in the year as well. So lots of potential. I'm fascinated to see where the character could go next. I mean, obviously at the end of episode 7, he's left in a place that I think he's in a better place at the end of episode 7 than he was when he started, even though he's got nothing. But yeah, potentially the world is his oyster from that point.
All right, I have a question for the gentleman here.
Hello. Next year's the 20-year anniversary of the Leprechaun. Are we going to see anything else with that? All jokes aside.
So something about there's a...
Are we going to see anything more from the Leprechaun with next year being the 20-year anniversary and everything?
That I get asked this question a lot. I mean, Leprechaun is something that, I've done 6 of those movies now. They're very low budget sort of horror movies, but they have a cult following, and there are many people that like to see more. I'd love to go back into the character again and have some more fun. But I do know, I think they're doing some... there's going to be a release on a special release on iTunes and stuff. They're doing something to celebrate Leprechaun in the not too distant future. I think for St. Patrick's Day, in fact, they're doing something. But I don't know. But yeah, who would like to see another Leprechaun? Who would dare admit that they would? Yeah. Oh yeah, the person that had too many Japanese sweets, obviously, would like to see another one.
I have a question from a young man here.
I know that there's a video on YouTube, and Carl was really shocked at the idea of your kitchen. Did he ever see your kitchen?
Did I ever see my what?
Did Carl Pilkington ever see your kitchen? Because he was amazed at the idea of it.
Oh, my kitchen. Yes. I'll explain. There's a video on YouTube that when Warwick met Carl Pilkington, and he asked me about my kitchen. He can't get his head around the fact that my kitchen is slightly lower at home, but my kettle is average sized. But no, he hasn't seen my kitchen. I did want to send him a photograph of a Fisher-Price play kitchen and tell him that was my kitchen. But I didn't do that yet. But yeah, he has a strange idea about what my house is like.
That's brilliant.
So it'd be fun to play with that.
Okay, we've got time for just a couple more questions, starting with this gentleman here.
Is there any movie roles you've actually done that you're a little bit embarrassed or ashamed of doing?
Is there a film that I've been embarrassed about?
Yeah, that you've acted in that you're a bit embarrassed
You know, the
about
only
doing?
film that I've been in that I don't think was as good as it should have been, and therefore it never re-features in any kind of questions or anything that I do, is Prince Valiant. Again, people look blankly. They've never really heard of it. But it was a potentially really great idea based on the comic books and what have you. But it just never really made a great movie, even though I was in it, which is surprising. But it just never really made the grade, I suppose. But I'm proud of everything else I've done, even the Leprechaun films.
Okay, we've got time for just about two, I think.
There's a couple of youngsters behind here who look
all right,
like
yep.
as well
Okay.
as well as that. We'll still get to you as well.
Okay, go for it. What's your question?
Are you 41?
What's that?
I think they've asked, are you 41?
Am I 41?
Yes.
I'm 42, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe you had to ask me that in front of
She
all these
did.
people. But
I
it's
can't-
nice of you. I mean, I'm 42. Is that good or bad? Am I old?
That's bad.
It's bad.
Oh, well, the things kids say, huh?
Great. I'm glad I'm on stage here today.
well,
Well, I dread to think what he's going to ask.
What's
Go
your
on.
question then?
What's your favourite film you've done out of Willow and Harry Potter?
What was that?
He said, what's your favourite film out of Willow and Harry Potter?
Oh, gosh. Again, that's really hard. I'm very fond of Willow and Harry Potter. People often ask me who would win in a fight between various characters of mine. You know, if you got Willow versus Professor Flitwick, who would win, or the Leprechaun, or Wicket the Ewok. I mean, I'm often asked to kind of have these little fake battles. Odd, I know. Which is your favourite out of those two? Throw it back. He hasn't seen either of them.
I have seen Willow and I've seen Harry Potter, but I like them both.
You like them both? Well, that's very diplomatic. Thank you. I will now forgive your sister for her question.
Right, okay, with the final question here from Mr. Ash Ketchum.
Is there anything you do to warm up, to get yourself in the mindset of before you act?
You're going to have to repeat that for me, Stuart. Sorry.
Is there anything you do to get yourself in the mindset, to warm yourself up before you act?
Anything I do? That's interesting. I'm not really a method actor as such. I mean, I go on set and I kind of, the character's turned on when I say action, basically. And then when I say cut, you know, I'm Warwick Davis again. It's like that brilliant scene in Extras where Ian McKellen's going, Sir Ian, Sir Ian, Sir Ian. I mean, it's a brilliant scene that describes acting. I mean, the preparation, like, for example, when I did the Harry Potter films, I spent 4 hours in makeup. So, in a way, that's my preparation time. I sit and look in the mirror, and they're sticking the pieces on, and I'm being transformed into a goblin. So, that's kind of my preparation. But I already have a very good idea of the character and all of the things I need to know, so that, you know, when I hear action, I'm a bit like a trained movie horse. As soon as I hear the word action, that's it, and I go crazy. So yeah, that's how I work really. But I have it very well thought out beforehand. I don't just kind of come up with it on the spot, as it were. So
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
that's all we've got time
that's all
for.
we've got
is
time
it?
for, I'm afraid. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a massive Round of applause to Mr. Warwick Davis.
Thank you very much.
And he will be signing at his signing table, which is directly behind
I'm
the MVM
still over
stand.
there. I've copies of my autobiography, Size Matters Not, and of course, the extremely tacky actual size bugs.
I do like that. That's funny.
Okay. See you later. Thanks very much.
No problem. And don't forget, the book, as he said, is available, and he will sign it for you. And it's a well worth read.